about 5 p.m. this date, she escaped from the sanitarium. Subject is described as white female American, 105 pounds, 5 feet 3 inches tall, 42 years, black hair, last seen wearing blue overcoat. No further description. Subject is reported to be a mental case and could become violent. Frequency clear, KMA 394.
5621 reporting in service. Starting mileage 7395, 7395.
Control 1 to 5610-4. Did you receive description of escaped mental patient?
5610-4, we have it.
Control 1 to 5610-4, 6:08 p.m. starting Nightwatch.
This is Donn Reed, a police recorder. Right now, you're in the back seat of a detective unit, number 56. That was Sergeant Ron Perkins reporting in service on the Nightwatch. Jotting down the description of that escaped mental patient. We'll probably be working on that later. But while you're with us tonight, remember, the people you hear are not actors. This is it. This is real. This is Nightwatch.
Nightwatch. The actual on-the-scene report of your police force in action. There are no actors, no script. Every voice, every sound is authentic. The investigations are recorded as they actually occur. Nightwatch. Presented with the cooperation of the Police Department of Culver City, California, W.N. Hidebrande, Chief. We switch you now to Detective Unit 56, somewhere in the field, and police recorder Donn Reed.
5-2 to Control 1. Come in. Control 1 to 5-2. Go ahead. 5-2, will you have a detective unit meet us at Bowman and Ranch Road at the gas station? We've located the mental patient that escaped the sanitarium. Control 1 to 5-2, 10-4, 5-6. Come in.
5-6.
Control 1 to 5-6. Did you receive 5-2's transmission?
5610-4, we're in the area now. Be over there in a few minutes.
Control 1 to 5610-4, 6:35 p.m. KMA 394.
Matter of a couple of blocks, we'll be at the gas station where one of our uniformed cars has this mental patient detained. It's just getting dark. Pretty heavy traffic out. Seems like everybody's trying to get home all at the same time. There we are. Coming into the gas station. A district car has one of the drives blocked. We're swinging into the other here. Uniformed officers Good and Cameron holding middle-aged woman, bareheaded, long blue coat, confused expression on her face.
I've been trying to leave, so I scanned the wall and went to the gas station and called my husband to come and get me. In the meantime, those guys are chasing me, trying to bring me back into the sanitarium, and you're not allowed out there or anything.
Which fellows are chasing me?
I don't know. I've escaped them to here now when they called the cops. I'm afraid to even walk. They come here, you, and they... Oh, you can't imagine. You can't... 42 years old, you ought to be able to be sick yourself. You shouldn't have to stay, should you? Huh? Against your will?
Who put you in there, your husband?
Yeah, I had got out of my head a couple of weeks ago, and he put me there with Dr. whatever his name is. And there I've been, and I've been getting all right, and I want to go now. They won't let you go. They won't let you go. And they've got several others in there the same way. They don't let them out. I said to the doctor this morning, I'd love to go home. I want to leave here. Oh, no, you can't. And he knocked me out like that. Gave me a shock treatment and knocked me out. And so tonight, they let us out in the back a little bit. Talk about convicts. They let us out in the back a little bit, and quite a large nurse there was watering. And I saw a wall, and I scanned the wall and ran down here. And they're chasing me. That shouldn't be allowed, should it, when you're 42 years old? Huh?
Well, what's your husband think of this?
He doesn't know what it's all about. He'll know now.
Well, how long ago did you call your husband?
About 10 minutes or so.
Well, why don't you come with us then?
We'll go down to the station and we'll Wait down there. We'll
Well, he
contact your
won't. No,
husband.
please let me make a phone call first.
We'll
My
talk.
husband's on his way. My husband's coming down here. My husband said he was coming here. So let me wait for my husband here. You want to wait with me? Then I'll go back with you. There's a phone booth right there, see? Right there.
If you want to call your husband, go right ahead.
All right, but I've got to get changed for court.
Evidently, even though she's just talked to her husband,
See, I bet he's
she
back home.
wants to talk to him again. She's huddled in a small outside
Will you
phone
get
booth.
me 2, 3, 2, 8?
Breeze flowing in from the ocean, scattering her hair all over her face.
$0.20. I'll have to throw the quarter in. Oh, I don't care about a refund. I never knew that a person wasn't allowed to choose their own life in this world. They're not my bosses. Why would I have to go with them? Will you tell me that? Why do I have to go with them? They're not my bosses. They're not my bosses. How come you haven't come yet? They're sending me back to the sanitarium. What is wrong with you? I won't have it. Please come and get me. What are you waiting for? What? Would you please come and take me home? Come on, come home. Please, I've been waiting so long. I'm going to get sick. Will you come down and get me out of the way? All right, just a minute. Just a minute. Hey, they're coming after me.
Your husband is coming after you?
Yes. Will you please tell the cops that? Just a minute.
Hello, Campbell.
Are they coming to get me? Please. Oh, I'm going to be a nervous wreck if they don't. I can't relax. Oh, you don't know what they're like. They're coming, huh?
Yeah.
You want to get in the car here now?
Yeah, Bert.
This woman's pretty confused. Arch and Paul are going to take her down to the station. You want to go with him?
Yeah.
I'm going to go out to the sanitarium and see what I can find out. I'll see you down at the station.
Right. Okay. See you later.
Right.
Told me you didn't mind him anyway. Listen, could you go up the block and see if he happens to be there now? He
Well,
won't-
I doubt if you could make it from
I don't know. He might have traveled fast because I was crying on the phone. I was crying on the phone.
The woman is in the back seat with Officer Cameron. Wheel right up front.
5210-4.
That would be the only car.
How long have you been at the sanitarium?
It'll be 2 weeks from Monday.
2 weeks.
We've
Come
contacted
Monday.
the sanitarium over there. We have a patient who has escaped this afternoon.
You're not going to give me away, are you? But, I mean, you're going to let my husband have me, aren't you?
We'll talk to your husband first. See what he wants.
Because I don't want to go back to the sanitarium. Can't we choose our own doctors in this world? Huh?
I'll tell you, we don't like to say anything about this until we talk to your husband.
Yeah.
He's the one that had you committed.
Why should I be put in a sanitarium? I mean, and pay good money out when I don't need it? Please don't give me back to that sanitarium. They'll be so mean to me. You can't imagine what they're like. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it. I know you wouldn't. Would you bring my husband here to the police
we'll bring
station?
him to the station.
Oh, how wonderful. Oh, God.
Sure, I believe someone get him back there for you.
We're here at police headquarters, and the woman patient will be detained until her husband arrives. She's being placed now in the detention room.
I'm so scared. Can I stand?
Well, you stay in there, though, for us, because we have to close this up.
on.
And we have to...
Well, can I stay here without being close?
Well,
the desk officer by himself, man. We have to go. So you just go in there.
Well, let me stand outside then.
No, we have
Why?
to right here. Well, because regulations.
I'm not a criminal.
No, I didn't see you.
Please don't lock me in. I'll stay here gladly, but don't. Please
You
don't
don't
lock
say
me
to understand
in.
that.
Well, he can slam it shut if they come after me.
Well, no, we're
Can he?
not going to give him a chance to do that. But you just go in and sit down now and relax.
How did you get in this sanitarium in the first place?
Because I went out of my head. So they took me to this place here.
What's it like up there?
What's it like up there? There's a bedroom here, a bedroom there, and it's locked there, and it's locked there. And you're not allowed to go out. You're not allowed to use a phone. You're not allowed to call your husband. You're not allowed to use any phones at all. So, once in a great while, they let us out in the backyard there, a little bit, see. So, this great big nurse was watering there, and I saw a wall, and I thought, darn it, I'm going to try. I just can't stand this any longer.
So you went over the wall?
So I went over the wall and ran and called my husband. I don't think he probably didn't realize how serious it was. Because now he's coming after me.
Well, how do they treat you up there?
How do they treat you? They give you a little food and that's all. You're like you're in jail. No different than here. You're not allowed out.
Don, will you step inside a minute?
Yeah, sure.
This is no different than right here.
Did you get down to the sanitarium, Perk?
Yeah, I went down and talked to the nurses. A couple of the people down there. She's definitely a mental case, has a persecution complex.
Yeah, feels that everybody's against her.
Sergeant Perkins. Okay, be right over there.
Her husband here?
Yeah, let's go over there.
All right.
You are listening to Nightwatch and following the activities of a detective unit on its tour of duty. The people and sounds you are hearing are real, and the investigations are recorded in the field as they actually occur. We'll bring you the results of tonight's action at the conclusion of Nightwatch. And now we return you to police headquarters, where an investigation is underway, and to police recorder Donn Reed.
In the office of Captain Lugo. Coming in the other door, the husband of the patient, nervously lighting a cigarette. Anxiety written all over his face. Captain Lugo, Sergeant Perkins are going to talk it over.
Earlier this evening, we had a call that they were after her from the sanitarium.
Mm-hmm.
And the radio car officers were dispatched, and they contacted her. And noticed her being disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Consequently, I assume that she has a mental illness of some kind, or something that is disturbing her. And that's why you were called, because something must be done to help your wife.
Well, I called them. She called me.
I see.
First. So, she just cried and hollered hysterical for me to please come and get her. So I knew it'd take me a long time to get there, and I didn't know if she would stay there. So when she hung up, then I called the sanitarium, see, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're out looking for her now. We had her out in the sun yard or flower yard or something with 3 or 4 other patients, and she climbed over the wall, see." And so they said, "We're out looking for her now." And I said, "Well, do you know where she's at? Where they're at? You don't know where she's at, then?" And she said, "No." So I told her that she was at this gas station. See, she said, "Well, I'll tell them." Well, you can't tell them if they're out looking for her now. See, and that's, I guess, about it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Has she been at the sanitarium long?
This was her second trip, and she was there just 8 days, and then she sold the doctor on the idea that she could come home, so he sent her home, and then she cracked up again. Then we had to call the ambulance because that time she went violent, see.
Have they been able to find out what causes it or what's back of it?
They say not. I had to talk with the doctor Tuesday down at his office. Said that I had wanted to know something, or I'd tell her to move over down there. So, but he said all that they could do was give her these shock treatments, so I said, well, if that's the thing you do to your wife or someone dear to you, why, that's what I want done. So he told me then that she should have 12 of these treatments, see, and be there a month, and that I shouldn't see her, so I haven't seen her. I'm so confused now, I don't know what to do, and of course...
Well, sir, here's the situation. Naturally, we've done what we can so far to assist you in your matter here, but if you're going to take her back there, and you can take her back there, why, we'll be glad to release her to you. And, or if you need any assistance in any way, why, we'll be glad to give it to you. So if you think that you can take her back, if that's what you want to do, and that's what your doctor recommended, why...
Well, that's what he recommended, but like I say, you get... it's a little hard to think, maybe straight yourself at a time like this, because, I mean, I don't know.
Well, we of course don't have any...
No, I know.
Any specific charge or reason to hold her other than the fact that she is more or less despondent and probably mentally ill. And so whatever plans you have, we'll be glad to cooperate with you.
Have you talked to her? Did you see her or anything?
No, I've talked to her, just very little.
I talked to her just for a few minutes.
Sergeant Perkins did talk to her, but there's no doubt that there is a problem there.
Of course, over the phone, when she was here, I mean, she must have evidently grabbed the phone from the officer because she said it's a chip joint. You don't know what they're doing to me and all that kind of thing. And I mean, you know, I don't know. I'll take her home, but I mean, you don't know. See, the sanitarium was helpless to come here and pick her up. Is that the idea?
No, they said that she had apparently gone there voluntarily, and that they were not in a position to forcibly take her back without the consent of her husband and the person, whoever was in charge, you know, the doctor and the husband. So they apparently will take her back as long as they know you're here. I would suggest that you call the sanitarium.
I talked to them, you know, and I said said that she thought it was better if one of their attendants go with the police officers and get her and bring her back rather than me, see, and I agreed heartily with that.
Let me put it this way, just on my observation, if she had been picked up by herself under the circumstance that had happened and we had no relatives to contact like it happens once in a while, I wouldn't recommend her being released. In other words, we would recommend that she be taken down to the general hospital.
It may be that after this episode, your doctor may have other findings for you, help you relieve your mind and know that you are doing what you believe is right.
Man, I don't know. I've done so much thinking, but I thought I had it all thought out Sunday night and Monday, and then when I called the doctor and had a half-hour session with him, I mean, he tried to answer me on the phone. I said, I'm going to pay for a half-hour deal with him. And he convinced me. If she'd only be a good kid and go through with this. But of course, I mean, if she had the reason to figure that out, I guess she wouldn't be in there first place. Oh, boy. If I'm going to go by these guys that have spent years at it, she should go back.
I talked to the attendant out there. They're going to send a male nurse and a female nurse down, and we'll release them to them.
Good.
So they're on their way down now.
Let's get out of here. I don't want to see her.
Why don't you go the back way, and then you won't have to go from where she is.
She can see you right from where you walked in there.
Oh, can she?
Yeah, she's in the back there, so there's a possibility that she might hear your voice. Or
can she see our car across the street?
No, she's inside. She can just see her as you go out there.
So
you wanted to go right out the back door.
If you don't mind using the back door here.
No.
It might keep her from becoming more emotionally upset.
Well, I guess we're doing the right thing, huh?
After all, you've gone to your doctor, and he is a professional man. He's the one that should guide you in matters like this.
Yeah. But when she said it was a chip joint on the phone, you know, I get the idea of dungeons and chains and...
Well, it's a very reputable place.
She don't even have to know we were here, does she? I guess.
We won't tell her anything.
The husband is slowly leaving the back door. Shoulders slumped over. He's carrying a pretty heavy burden.
Captain, the attendants from the sanitarium are out in front. We might as well turn her over to them.
Let's move out to the detention room. Holding onto the wire netting. Nurse from the sanitarium in front of the door, trying to persuade her to come out quietly. Not having much success.
You want to go with me? I'm waiting for my husband. I'm waiting for my husband. He'll be at the hospital when we get there. You want to go with me? Yeah, but if I go to the station, you'll lock me in. No. Look, honey. I'm 42 years old. Can I be boss myself? Officer, can I be my own boss at 42?
Captain Lugo is taking the nurse aside to fill in some details.
The doctor. And the doctor recommended that she be taken back to the sanitarium.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called your sanitarium.
Mm-hmm.
And consequently, we told him that we would assist you in
getting her back
if it was necessary. So we have a couple of men coming in to help you if you like. But the doctor recommended that he not see her because it probably would excite her all the more.
I see. I wanted to bring a hypo with me and give it to her. That would quieten her down.
Well, we'll assist you. When you start taking her, we'll be glad to assist you.
All right.
Attempt to get the patient out of the detention room. Officers opening the door. Woman is hiding in the corner.
Let me out with me. No, I don't know she's going to hurt me.
No, she's not.
She will do. I'm afraid of her. I'm afraid. Honey, you know I never... I'm afraid of them over there. Honest, I am.
Look, we're going to say...
I am. Why are they hunting me?
Look,
You know why. Why are you after me? Why? I would sit here under supervision to get you there.
You know, we haven't hurt you, have we?
No.
Of course we haven't. Well, why don't you... They're not going to hurt you. We'll tell her not to hurt you.
You don't know those girls there. I know you people there. You're locked in there. You're not allowed to go out. I asked if I could go to the dentist tomorrow, and they said no. What did I tell you? I said tomorrow we'll contact the dentist, didn't I? Oh, how are you guys? See how they are?
Well, you're going to...
And I'm 42 years old.
Yes.
Can I be my own boss?
Well, look, here's the situation.
I'm 42.
You go with them.
They'll lock me in there again. I know that.
Well, you go with them.
You know it,
You
too.
go with them.
Yeah. Well, will you
The subject has been coaxed out of the detention room. Nurse assisting her outside to a waiting ambulance. Well, this has to be done. How to get her in as quietly as possible is the problem. One of the officers has a restraining strap under his arm. Hope it won't be necessary to use it.
I bet you.
You just go right ahead. And
Aren't you officers to help?
Sure we are.
Well, will you
That's
help
what we're
now?
doing. That's what we're doing.
Will you help me? I don't want to go with them.
Come on.
I don't want to go with them. I don't trust them. You know darn well once you get me in there, I'm stuck, ain't I?
No.
Well, then why are you after me then?
They want you to go back. You can't stay here all night.
All right, you watch. Tomorrow I'll be in that sanitarium again.
That's up to your husband. You're not up to
Well, I'm 42. Ain't I old enough?
All right. You talk to your husband about it. Come on, get out in front. You
I'll
want to
sit in front.
All right.
Him again.
That's up to your husband. You're not up to
Well, I'm 42. Ain't I old enough?
You talk to your husband about it. Come on, get out in front. You
I'll
want to
sit in front.
All right.
Officers are helping her into the front seat. Male attendant sliding in beside her.
Come on,
I'm so scared.
No, you're not right.
No,
we'll go back and I'll make it. Come on,
I don't want to go back. I don't want that
There's nothing to be scared about.
Do I have to have that same
No,
doctor?
your husband will get another doctor.
We'll straighten that out. We'll take care of it. We haven't hurt you yet, have we?
No, but
We've been
now you
No,
won't. I can't get near a phone. Oh, will you come with, please?
Well, finally succeeded in getting the young lady into the ambulance. Others in here calling in the distance.
You go back now to your husband.
The male nurse on one side, the female nurse on the other to secure her.
You better come over. Wait till I get out. It'll be awful.
And there she goes. Returning now to the sanitarium. Well, Perk, some people are lucky, some people...
Yeah, let's get the work done.
What you have just heard is real. Recorded as it happened on the Nightwatch. For the disposition of this case, we return you to Police Headquarters and Chief W.N. Hidebrande.
Tonight's case varies from the usual conception of police work by merely lending assistance in a purely personal matter. However, the facts are important. We have a man who had to make a decision, a very difficult decision. After 20 years of a successful marriage, this verdict was not easy to reach. Sentiment and his love for his wife would have led many people in his position to do nothing and hope. In reality, this would have been the cruelest step of all. Regardless of how heartbreaking a problem he faced, the commitment was made. Contrary to his wife's views, the sanitarium he selected is one of the most competent in the area. A recent check shows his wife is responding to treatment and soon should be able to return home and take her normal place in society. We have presented this case tonight because other people throughout the country are facing similar situations. If we can make just a few realize that the proper decision in time may spare the victim years of agony, then we have a purpose in presenting the actual happenings on the Night Watch.
Thank you, Chief Hidebrande. You have just heard on-the-scene reports of your police force in action. Every voice, every sound has been real. Nightwatch, brought to you through the cooperation of your police department of Culver City, California, is produced by Sterling Tracy and Jim Hedlock, with technical advice by Sergeant Ron Perkins, and is described in the field by police recorder Donn Reed.